This week's Parsha, we learn about the story of Noach. Noach was told by God that there was going to be a flood in his generation due to the severe moral decline of the people of his generation. And so it happened. There was this catastrophic flood that flooded the entire world and destroyed all of its inhabitants, including all the people, with the exception of Noach and his family that went into the ark that Noach had built, together with all the animals that Noach had brought into the ark. And they were there for a period of 365 days. And it probably was not a lot of fun being on that ark. It wasn't like your favorite cruise liner. And finally they get off the ark, and it's very quiet. The world has once again been renewed. God has hit the reset button. And Noach comes down from the ark, and it says in the Torah, "Vayachal Noach ish ha'adama." Noach began to be a man of the earth, and he planted a vineyard, and he took those grapes and pressed them and made wine from that. He drank that wine and became drunk, and he went and disrespected himself. But the Rashi focuses on this word, Vayachal Noach. Noach made himself chol. Chol we define as mundane. Noach became mundane. Earlier on in the Parsha, he was a holy man, he was a righteous man, he was completely walking with God, as it says in the beginning of the Parsha. And towards the end of the Parsha, Noach has become mundane and planted a vine for wine. Rashi says, what was the criticism? Because he should have planted something else. It would seem to me that we're giving Noach, a hard rap. I mean, after all, this man was on the ark for 365 days. It wasn't fun. He had to cater to all those animals that were on them, feed them all the time. And then finally he comes off the boat, and all he wants is a glass of wine. And he can't just find that glass of wine because everything's been destroyed. So he goes and plants this vineyard. And he goes ahead and finally takes those grapes and squeezes them, makes the wine and drinks it. So why are we being so harsh with Noah for his actions? What was so terrible about Noah drinking that wine? And the lesson we learn from over here is that many times we are given new opportunities to make the right choices. For example, we're just coming out of the high holiday season, the month of Tishrei. We went through Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippur. We have been given a new clean slate for the year. God has told us, everything until now I've forgiven, and now you have a new clean slate. And how are we going to act when we have this new clean slate now this year? Are we going to once again make the wrong choices that we did last year? Are we perhaps going to be more mindful of how to make the correct choices? And that was what Noach's dilemma was at that time. Here he was coming out of that ark, and the world had received an absolutely new clean slate. The world had been rebooted. And Noach had an opportunity to look at the world. And he should have said, now it's time for civilization to get more serious. Now it's time to realize there's consequences to our actions. But yet the first thing he did was he planted a vineyard for grapes so he can have that wine. Was there anything terrible about that? Not necessarily. But that shouldn't have been the first thing he did. The first thing should have been an act of symbolism where he's doing something to demonstrate that now he, as representing humanity, are going to take the choices more seriously. And that's something he fell short with. And that's why he is criticized in the Torah as being an ish ha'adama. Folks, we have to realize that many times we have opportunities, new opportunities ourselves, for us to make the correct choices. Let us remember the lesson of Noach, and let us remember his opportunity that he had, and remember for ourselves to make the right choices. Have a wonderful Shabbos.